Wicky Bobby, the rookie sensation sweeping the nation, and IndyCar Racing 2018. Yes, Robert Wickens, probably the most anticipated diecast car of 2018, at least on the IndyCar side of things. Everybody was pining for this car. I think throughout the Indy 500 month, at least in all the diecast videos I did, the number one comment was, "Where's the Robert Wickens car?" It's right here, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It's not only available in the 118 scale, this one costs $75 because of this gold chrome paint, similar to the James Hinchcliffe car, of course, from the same team, and you would imagine they would use the same paint supplier on both of their cars. Indeed, they do for the diecast as well. But if you don't want to drop $75 on an IndyCar diecast, you can drop a smaller amount of change, $9, to get this 1/64 scale car of Robert Wickens. And that's what we'll take a look at first, and then we'll take a look at its bigger brother. So here, out of the box, is the Robert Wickens 1/64 scale. Now, this car does not have any chrome on it, though it does do a pretty good job for the scale in kind of getting the color right, though I may say it's probably a tone too light. This is something I will talk about more in the 118 review, but the color is probably the color that they dye the chrome in, or do you dye chrome? I'm not sure. Somebody who's familiar with chrome will surely correct me in the comments. But this is probably the correct color, but unfortunately with the chrome the way it is, and not only on the diecast but also in real life, it tends to darken the red, or darkens whatever color is on the chrome because of the fact that the paint is black, and it just, since that black is underneath the chrome itself, it just kind of darkens it. That's the same way on the Jack Harvey car. It was the same way with Jay Howard's car at the Indy 500. It's the same way with James Hinchcliffe's Aero car. It just darkens the color. So when you see the actual proper color and kind of a flat finish, it looks significantly brighter than it actually does in real life. Not a huge complaint from me, but just something I wanted to point out, because you will see a pretty substantial color difference when I get the 118 car out. Outside of that, of course, what else can you say about the mold that Greenlight was able to put together for this? It's pretty much bang on perfect for the cars that started the season. It looks like IndyCar is looking at some aerodynamic changes for next year, so these are going to be inaccurate by the time we get around to next season. But for a 2018 IndyCar, this is pretty awesome. You also have the wicker bill that is exclusive to the 1/64 scale cars. They've somehow managed to make it work on the 1/64 scale cars, but couldn't really make it work on the 118s. You also get that little bit of roll bar detailing, which is kind of nice, and it actually gives you the effect. It would have been nice, I guess, if they had painted the inside of that black, but it kind of gives you the effect that it actually has a roll bar on it, which is kind of one of the complaints of the current 1/64s, as they don't have the full roll bar exposed. And then you also have a rookie stripe on the rear of the car, because of course Robert Wickens is a rookie in this season. Real quick, you also get a trading card with it. We're not going to spend too much time talking about this, but you can see the generic design that's been affixed to all of the diecast thus far this year, and there's a little bit of Robert Wickens. So we've gotten 21 different drivers in the 1/64 scale, which is pretty awesome, I must say, for this year, and I think it's actually done better than last year. I think we only got about 20 drivers last year. But of course, unfortunately, when you have this many drivers, you also have the ones that sometimes do some things to Robert Wickens and take him away from race victories. Oh dear. Okay, so the main attraction, this is probably what y'all came to see in this video, the 1/18 scale Robert Wickens diecast. This thing absolutely looks the business. I'm not sure if it's going to come across on my video camera. It certainly didn't in the pictures that I saw, but the chrome looks absolutely fantastic on this. It just has such a nice shine to it. I'll try to pick that up on the camera, but especially when you get back to this roll bar area, it just looks so good. A really, really nice job. Just a fantastic job by Greenlight on this particular model. Really, really looks good. The only thing about this car is it's not really specific to one race. Of course, it's on the Super Speedway aero, the only aero kit that Greenlight has molded. So you would think it's an Indy 500 car, which would be the indication would be the number on the roll hoop rather than the number panel, and also some of the sponsor logos back here, particularly Aero Electronics being fairly prominent because of the fact that James Hinchcliffe was bumped from the field. But on the front wing, you have Flexbox, which only appeared on the car in St. Petersburg. Of course, St. Petersburg was Wickens' coming out party in terms of his talent in this series because of how dominant he was in that race. But yeah, Flexbox was only on the car in St. Petersburg. And then you get to the roll hoop as well, a little bit of a difference here. Greenlight Collectables, which of course produces this car, was only on the car in the Indianapolis 500. But then again, it doesn't have the Indy 500 tires. So what you have is pretty much a mishmash of a lot of different Robert Wickens cars throughout the year. It's not really specific to any one race, which is a little bit disappointing, but at the same time, I suspect that this diecast is going to be quite valuable in less than a year's time. It's already selling out of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. If you can get out there, I would highly suggest picking one of these up because they're about to sell out. They're not even available on the website from what I understand. And if you can get to a racetrack, I believe they are also available at the racetrack. I won't be able to find that out until Pocono in about a week's time. Maybe I'll report back. You can see the same detail as the 164. You've got the rookie stripes on the rear attenuator. Again, just nice detailing all around. I will point something else out, or a couple more things out real quick here that you want to look out for when you're buying this car, if you can have a choice in terms of buying this car. So the stripe underneath the side pod, that's actually something that's either hand decaled on there or hand painted on there. And you can tell, it's kind of like the Graham Rahal 118, which has a painted line on it. But you can see sometimes there's just a little bit of inaccuracy or just it's imprecise, I should say. Just a little bit of wonkiness with the decal. But outside of that, that's one of the few problems. Also, for whatever reason, and this has been pointed out by some of my friends who have bought this, the twist ties that come around the front wing actually will scrape off some of the black paint and actually expose some of the chrome underneath, which, of course, they had to do. They had to paint black over chrome so they could get this little end plate to be chrome while the rest of the wing was black, which looks fantastic until you put a twist tie around it and it maybe scrapes off the paint. But those are only a few of the problems there. You may see a blemish or two. I just noticed that on the chrome there. But outside of that, man, this is a nice looking thing. And I don't really get this. What's weird is this little design on the side pod almost looks like veins because it's red on this car. On the James Hinchcliffe car, it doesn't really give that impression. But overall, a fantastic car. I would definitely say worth the wait. And if you can get it, go out and get it. Because again, when someday Robert Wickens has 2 IndyCar championships and 4 Indy 500s, everybody's going to be looking for this car and going to be going, wow, the eBay prices sure are high on this, and that would be the reason why. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this review and other reviews like it, be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button, and be sure to stay tuned for more Motorsport IndyCar content coming up, particularly from the Pocono ABC Supply 500 race weekend, which is coming up very quickly, and it's one of the fun events of the year because everybody loves 500-mile IndyCar racing. It's always very exciting. So can't wait to see you at Pocono or at least watching my Pocono coverage, and we'll see you in the next video. Wicky Bobby!